Hi, I'm Town Administrator Andy Sheehan. Welcome to this week's video, the week of October 19th, 2020. This week, I'm going to talk a little bit about water and our public water supply and provide a couple of updates on some things that are of interest in Middleton. Last week, we received a pretty healthy rainfall towards the end of the week. At my house, we had 3.5, 4 inches of rain. Certainly welcomed by my lawn, shrubs, gardens, trees, etc. So it gives us an opportunity to talk about Middleton's water supply, where it comes from, and how, to a small extent, how it's regulated. So Middleton gets its water supply from Middleton Pond and the upstream tributaries that feed into the pond. We share those resources, those water resources, with the town of Danvers in an agreement that's been in place for over 100 years. The most visible of the tributaries is Emerson Bog, which is visible from North Main Street, Route 114. Despite last week's substantial rains or significant rains, as of Monday morning, the bog is still almost completely dry, just pockets of water in the bog. So one storm doesn't end the drought that has been in place in Massachusetts for the entirety of this growing season. All of Middleton's water resources are located within the Ipswich River watershed. The Ipswich River has its headwaters in Billerica and Burlington and flows through 14 towns on its way to the Ipswich River estuary near Cranes Beach and the southern end of Plum Island. As I mentioned, flows through 14 towns. It provides drinking water for 350,000 Massachusetts residents. It's a highly stressed watershed as a result of that draw from all of these municipal water resources and private water users, and so the state puts strict limits on how much each user, each community or private user, can take out of that watershed. We're currently working on renewing our water withdrawal permit. And as I mentioned, that is regulated by the state. So the state gives us an allocation and we're allowed to withdraw up to that. We're working on this renewal with our partners in Danvers. We're also working on the agreement with Danvers that governs how the two communities share that water resource or those water resources. Middleton and Danvers are partners in water, and leaders in both communities recognize the need to revise the agreement that's been in place for about 25 years. Revise that agreement for both our mutual interest and our individual interests. The goal of each of the communities is to ensure that we have sufficient water supply for our current users and for future users. We can't cut off growth in the future. We have to make sure that we have water available to provide for future needs as well as current needs. So as a shared resource, we can't simply take only what we need. We have to work with Danvers and with the state in order to make sure that we're using what we're allowed to use and that we're being good stewards of that natural resource. So water is a tremendous challenge in Massachusetts. It's different from the western part of the country, where there literally have been water wars over the years as downstream interests compete with upstream interests. Different setting here, but no less important to our current needs and to our future needs. So you'll hear a lot more about water over time. It sort of comes and goes, and in the news and in the spotlight. So I'll have more to say about it in the future. You'll hear conversations at selectmen's meetings and other forums about water. So I wanted to provide a little bit of a baseline today for our water needs and how our water is regulated. So, I did promise a couple of updates. Early voting for the November 3rd election started this past Saturday. Early voting will continue every day, Saturday and Sunday included, through October 30th, which is a Friday. Early voting takes place at the Flint Public Library, and the full schedule is available at our website, www.middletonma.gov. Just click on the link on the homepage, it'll bring you right to the schedule. Household Hazardous Waste Collection Day is this Saturday, October 24th. That runs from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. A little different this year. I mentioned it at in a prior video. This year we're doing it at the Middleton, the former Middleton golf course, rather than at Masconomet, where we have done it in the past. So again, Saturday, October 24th from 9 to 1 at 105 South Main Street. You can get information on our website, again, middletonma.gov, information on what you can bring, what you can't bring, and any other details that you need about the collection day. This week's quote is actually two quotes, and they come to us from William James. William James was an American philosopher, psychologist, educator, and writer. Lived from the 1840s till 1910. He was, interestingly, the first to offer a psychology course. He was one of the founders of psychology in America, one of the most prominent early psychologists in America. His quotes, these two quotes today, encourage us to look at things from maybe a different perspective than we would normally look at them. So the first one goes, and they're very similar. So first one goes like this: we don't laugh because we're happy. We're happy because we laugh. The second one is, I don't sing because I'm happy. I'm happy because I sing. And the way that I look at that is, don't wait to be happy in order to do the things that you love. Do the things that you love, and happiness will flow to you. So I think it's a great way to look at things, and I've certainly noticed it in my own life, where when I do things that are pleasurable to me, it changes my whole mood. And I think it's a good thing to keep in mind as we go through various challenges, or just our day-to-day existence. So as always, please email me with any ideas or topics that you'd like me to address in these videos. You can reach me at andrew.sheehan@middletonma. And thanks, as always, to Paul Paliselli and Adam Stone from Middleton Public Access for recording and producing these videos. Thanks for watching, and until next time, be safe and be well.